Hey, Levians, it's Sister Carter. Hopefully having a great day. I'm having a great day. We're back today in Weapon Fighting Simulator because I'm going to be giving y'all a free-to-play guide. And you're like, Sister, what are you talking about? If y'all don't know, most of the guides that people put out there, those players are pay to win, including myself. I do try to include tips and tricks for the free-to-play players, but there's no actual, free-to-play player guide. So I talked to the community, looked around myself. I do have an alt account that was mostly free-to-play. And so I'm going to give you all the recommendations I got from them, what I observed, and just some general tips and tricks for our lovely free-to-play players so they can get better at the game and become basically pay-to-win players by getting game passes with Jade. So, if you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button, do the same subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Now let's get right into the video. Now, first things first. Our lovely free-to-play players, you need to be aware of time. And what I mean by time is the events that are going on, and what day of the week it is, and when the updates have dropped. Events, real easy. You need to be actively working on whatever events that we have out, because you don't have that many boosters. You don't have game passes that are giving you times a billion, times whatever it happens to be, multipliers. So your biggest boost is going to be during those times. And if you are not currently working on those events, I'll kind of explain here in a little bit what you should be doing. Now, what I mean by update, plebs, is the game updates every Friday from about 9 p.m. Central Standard Time all the way till Saturday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will put those up on the screen so you can use a time converter for your zone, your area. Generally, they have an update in between those time frames. Now, of course, updates can be delayed. The schedule they've been following for at least the past month and a half, 2 months, is we get a new world and then a content update. Content update that we had most recently was the lovely Lord. So this is a content update. Adding the zones is a zone update. I will tell y'all the next update that we are looking forward to is a new zone, which for a free-to-play player, you need to be paying attention because we're going to have new weapons. New weapons is where you're going to be making your most money. So let's get on into the next thing now that we're paying attention to the time. Now, because we are not spending any Robux, getting boosts is hard. So, a few ways you can get boosts for free. The Silver Merchant, really simple way. There's boosts depending on how far you get into the tower. I would always recommend, even if you're free to play and don't get very far in the tower, make sure you use your resets. Make sure you don't exceed them, because remember, we get 6 saved. Make sure you're doing the tower. I know some people get discouraged by what you can and cannot get, but Silver is going to be your best friend as a free-to-play player because there's multiple things you can do with it. Boosts, make sure you're buying boosts here. Also, make sure you've used all the creator codes. I will put them up on the screen right now. Those include mine. Each of those codes is going to give you a boost in every single, it's every single boost. So do go make sure you check out those content creators. We all make videos on Weapon Fighting Sim. So go check them out. Go show them some love as well. They also do a bunch of other stuff. I love looking at their content as well. It's really cool. If you don't know where to find the newest codes that come out with the game, you need to go to the game page. If you scroll down here, I would make sure to come back every few days and check in this little zone right here, guys. Right here. This updates with every single update. This updates every time we hit our new like goals. So go make sure to go check these out. I check them at least once, twice a day, and then when the updates come out, usually they come out about an hour or two after the update actually launches. Now, when you are working through the zones, everyone's like, oh, I want to, get all the spells from the zone. As a free-to-play player, your job primarily needs to be to get the last zone as possible. Because here's the deal, that's going to have the newest weapon, that's going to have the newest spells, the newest gear. You don't need to spend 25 hours getting level 18 in these arrow bombs. It's going to be very rare for you to do that. So once you have level 6, move on. Even then, move on. Because here's the deal, if you are, say, stuck in a zone for the junior chi spells and this does 7.5 million and you're like, I really want to get this up, use this. Okay, the current spells, okay, 1.57 billion, okay? No reason to hang around. Try and get to the most current zone possible because that's also going to give you the biggest rewards as far as chi and stones. The other reason I recommend you try and push as far as you can is to level up. If y'all didn't know, even if you're a free-to-play player or a pay-to-win player, and since we can now start tower defense without anyone else, Did you know that if you are expert chi 2 and anyone in your party is, so if you have a friend and you start this defense mode thing, it automatically skips to wave 11, which means you automatically get the rewards up until 11. This isn't easily abused at all. No, not at all. So even if you don't have anything great, if you can find someone that says, hey, can you start the defense mode for me so that I can get some quick rewards, some quick silver? This is a really cheeky way, especially for people starting out, to get a lot of money. As you can see, it's clicking up. Since one of the defenders has expert chi 2, the game will immediately start at wave 11. I don't even have to do anything. I think I need to attack like one thing to get credit. And then I can just let the rest of it destroy it. I don't even need to do anything. There we go. Crystal has been destroyed. I made to wave 11. So I can go over here. And I now can claim all this. I didn't complete wave 11 because I died, but I got 4,000 silver. You're going to get less because I do have a buff, but that's still extra silver that you didn't have to do anything for. So don't waste your defense modes. Now the last thing we're going to talk about, and kind of the biggest one of the batch, is Jade. So all free-to-play players are trying as hard as they can to get Jade. So I went and talked to the community, and they were very helpful. There's actually a few community members that are completely free-to-play players, and they almost have all the game passes because they got Jade. So let me read y'all some of their advice and kind of explain what some of it means. Cool Bryant, who is the actual one that kind of inspired my idea for this video, low-level Eternals are the best way. You can sell them to anybody. Pubs are usually the most, I'm guessing nubs, are usually the most giving when you start out with mythics or legendaries from low-level worlds. What they're talking about is these low-level mythics down here, or Eternals, that you can get from the shop. And what I mean the shop is when the merchant is all the way down here in the lower tiers. Go over, you can buy them, and sell them to newer players that have money. Or some people just like to collect them. Now, one of the big things I do want to mention with this is if there's an event going on that you are not like, oh, I'm going to grind this, like it's fusing. Right now, this is kind of a good event, but honestly, go and grind chi, okay? Because here's the deal. Even if you don't hatch it, most free-to-play players with their average luck can hatch one mythical a week, by the way, if you are constantly hatching. You need to be grinding chi so you can buy from the merchant. Because the merchants have lovely mythicals and they have lovely Eternals. So I could spend 300k and probably go sell it to someone for like 5 Jade. Like no joke. Highly recommend. Go and get those lovely chi so that you can sell them. That's what that's referring to. The other thing you can do is a lot of times newer players or free-to-play players are going to be hatching mythicals because we have a pity system for them. Go and hatch the mythicals. And then what you're going to be doing is you're going to level them up. This is not a base level mythical, I will let you know that. I have started leveling them up because I'm saving them. One, because I need fusing XP. Now, I talked about updates. Everyone's like, okay, what are you meaning by updates? On update day, guess what all the pay-to-win players want? They want XP so they can get their axes to max, so they can get their thunderbolts to max. And guess what? That costs a lot of XP. Now, I did ask the community how much this XP for this lovely Jade is. They kind of gave me a wide variety, but let's just take baseline there if it is the cheapest at 0.1 Jade per P, which is that's the experience amount. P is a step above T, and then E is a step above that. So if that kind of gives you any indication. So example, I wanted to level up my golden hoop, and I bought one of these lovely orc shields from somebody. So this is the XP that I will be receiving for it. It is 288.81p. Okay, so quick math for you. That is roughly about 29 Jade. That one item is roughly about 29 Jade. Now, I have fusing game passes, so this is actually amplified than what it should be. So it won't actually be worth this, but we have auto fuse. You want to sit there and fuse up something to a high level so that you can sell it. Congratulations. You sitting there AFK waiting to get something decent is always good as well. Update days are the big days. That's also when you're going to want to try and be hatching, because if you happen to get an Eternal, I will let you know on update days, Eternal prices are not set. Or for the most part, when it's not update day, like right now, most of the World 12 Eternals are going for 10 jade apiece. If you manage to hatch an Eternal within the first 48 hours of a update dropping, I guarantee you, you can get anywhere from about 200 to 300 jade for an Eternal, because people are wanting to fuse them up. They're wanting to get the high-end item already. They're wanting to be the best of the best. That is just how the updates go. When I talked about time earlier, make sure you are aware of when the updates drop, because that's when you need to be on here basically pulling your hustle, trying to get Eternals, trying to sell them. Those needs to be your optimal days, especially on World Update Day. Okay? So I expect to see a lot of y'all in the next 48 hours pulling up some hustle for that, okay? Now, I did have another member. We did just talk about XP. XP is one of those valuable things that I didn't realize until very late on. Helped me so much. So, XP, if you do happen to get Jade and you go to buy stuff, get ×3 open, basic luck, and fast hatching. Because here's the deal. That right there, guys, that is how you build an XP farm for an alt or for your main account. So once you do get a little bit of Jade, that is how you are able to do that. And to give you any reference on to how much that is real quick, ×3 hatch is basically 800. Fast hatch is about 400. And luck is about 100. So all in all, guys, that's about 1200 jade. You're going to have to work for it, but it still is possible. Of course, at that point, you also probably would want to get some fusing, but that would be after you started getting that. Now, kind of one of the last things that I see a lot of people overlooking. We talked a lot about how to make money. We talked about that. There is stuff in the game that you can do as a free-to-play player to give yourself an advantage, and you need to utilize it. And the big one I'm going to recommend to every single free-to-play player out there is Master Blacksmith 1, okay? This is using the Shiny Blacksmith 200 times. You can do this with stuff from the first zone, okay? It just takes some time and a little bit of chi. Yes, it is very annoying to do. The pay-to-win player, it was incredibly annoying to do. But once you get it done, you basically double your hatching amount, which means you can double your jade profits, which means you're spending less time doing that and you can spend more time playing the game. If y'all have any questions or comments about anything I have covered in this video, please let me know in the comments down below. I want to give a big shout out to all the lovely plebs over in the Weapon Fighting Sim Discord who did help me with this. I greatly appreciate it. My other big tip, guys, is one of the big things that people do in order to scam values is they don't join the Discord. The Discord is a big plethora of information. Also, there's a lot of trading that goes on there. So if you need to sell some XP or sell your Eternals, that's a really good place to do it. Big shout out to all of y'all. Thank you again. Also, Cool Bryant, thank you so much for kind of giving me the idea for this. I greatly appreciate it, pleb. My interview crew, y'all are awesome as always. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see y'all next time.